Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. Welcome to week 4 versus the Detroit Luxray, coached by Gary. This is a heavyweight tilt, ladies and gentlemen. This is the two undefeated teams in the league. Someone is walking away 3-1. Someone is walking away undefeated at 4-0. I don't feel good about this. Apparently Gary doesn't feel good about it either. I'm going to make a quick change in team building. When we're going through it, I have not even decided yet, to be honest. But looking at the first couple members, they're all set in stone. We got Scarf Sizzler. I really feel good about Scarf Sizzler this week, as he's got both Superior and Starmie, and it outspeeds both of them, and outgoes both of them with Bug Bite. Of course, Scarf U-Turn is also just nice. Pursuit, if I'm not gonna click Pursuit, and I've been tempted to throw Defog on in the last slot as like an emergency way to defog if I need it later game. But most likely I would just be clicking Bug Bite in that situation. Anyway. Mega Main, just back to Eel Standard. I believe it is faster than his Starmie, of course. That's kind of important. Next up we have Clefable, just chilling, regular Clefable. It has Flamethrower over Thunderwave because Gary actually has Aegislash, which is going to be a problem to break through if I don't have at least some way to bait it. This is where things get a little bit weird. I don't know. I brought Lottie because he has a Char Y, correct? And you need at least a switch in, if not two, to that thing in case he has bait on it. So between Latios and Special Defensive Talonflame, I should be able to beat his Char Y. Now, here are the two moves that I'm thinking of switching. I have SD Chomp, which basically beats his entire team. Looking at his team, which I'll throw up on screen real quick, I don't know whether I want Stealth Rock. Obviously, Sizzler Manectric wears down the opponent through the use of Stealth Rock and their moves. And on top of that, he has a Charizard Y, so why wouldn't you run Stealth Rock? But he has a Starmie, and I highly doubt Rocks would be staying around that much anyway. On top of that, I have Lottie, and I can't have Rocks on my side of the field. I can't afford it. And on top of that, Chomp with sub SD has such a reliable. It has like a tertiary form of reliability because Garchomp really does do a number to his team, and the more I can keep it alive, the better. And sub SD Chomp allows me to set up better on Alomo Mola and others. It also allows me to avoid the Intimidate from his whatchamacallit, his Crocodile, yeah, that one. Talonflame, also, I could run Swords Dance over Taunt if he does not bring Sylveon. If he brings Sylveon, I'm going to want Taunt on it, just because it'll allow me to shut it down and actually beat it. But if he does not bring Sylveon, SD Talonflame would have been a much better choice. I don't know whether I want to throw sub on this Garchomp. If I do, I'm going to make it Yachi instead of Lum, because that'll allow me to beat Starmie regardless. I'm so unsure. Like, it seems like a dumb thing to not bring Stealth Rock to a week where the opponent has a Char Y, but as I've pointed out, like, he will bring Starmie because he needs it to support Char Y. And I feel like no matter what I do, I'm going to end up regretting it, but I think I am going to put sub SD on this thing with a Yachi Berry, which will allow me to beat Starmie, because he very well may just bring Ice Beam Offensive Starmie, just because he knows I have a Garchomp. Anyway, let's challenge Show all teams. Yeah, Showdown got a new team builder, and I'm indifferent on it. It's kind of nice in some situations, but it's kind of annoying in others. Anyway, that's the team. That's going to be week 4 versus the Detroit Luxray. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the moment of truth. This recording setup, I'm back at my parents' house, so the room is probably very echoey. My parents right now, my whole family went off to what's that land called? Cuba, for winter vacation. I went with them last year, so this year I just opted to stay home because my dad offered me a trip to Vegas with him on my 21st birthday, which is coming up in March, if I didn't go. So I said, oh fuck yeah, of course I'm gonna of course I want to go to Vegas instead of Cuba, because Cuba was nice, but I can definitely pass up on it the second time. So right now I'm home alone. I literally set up my PC in the living room of my parents' place, and that's why it's a little bit more echoey than normal. I'm also sitting on a stool because the couch doesn't have proper support for me to do a 30-minute video, which I assume this is going to turn out into. Looking at Gary's team, he did not even bring Char Y, which means Lottie is super expendable. Lottie is literally basically, I should probably wish good luck. Lottie's super expendable, literally. For Sleep Fodder, it'll be the first thing to go. Healing Wish, Defog, it's literally just going to be there for Defog. Chomp is going to go in against this man. Oh my goodness. I don't have Rocks up, which means D-Knight's always going to be able to live one hit. But good lord, this thing with Healing Wish support, I think just wins. Talonflame is going to be very helpful because it will allow me to burn Aegislash. It will allow me to taunt the Aloe and the Roserade, neither of which will be able to touch me. And he also brought Sylveon, which means Talonflame's going to be huge for me in this game. Clefable, as I've mentioned, Clefable is a huge number to him, too. In fact, I think if I get rid of the Rose, Clefable just wins. Manectric and Scizor, of course, are going to be that... Scizor is super expendable as well because it's Scarf, not Banded. So, I mean, it's going to be nice to be able to go for, like, Iron Heads on the Sylveon, but he's not going to ever stand on that. I'm just going to see... I'm basically going to be clicking U-turn every time with Scizor, just instead of it being Banded. It's going to be Scarf damage, which isn't exactly perfect, but it will probably outspeed Crocodile at least once in the game and hit it up with a Bandit or Technician Bug Bite, which is pretty nice. I'm going to lead with Talon because if he leads with anything except for his Crocodile, I'm going to be in a great position. And even if he brings Crocodile, I could always burn it and just hope that he doesn't have Stone Edge. Should I lead main and try to get it Mega? Probably not, because he's probably going to lead with Crook. Oh, could he? He's probably going to lead Crook, I say, as I proceed to lead with Talonflame. I could always just lead Scizor, get a nice Scarf U-turn off on the first turn. No, I'll lead Talonflame. As yeah, it does end up leading Crocodile. If I think that I'm faster, I could always taunt this, but I really don't want to do that. He could knock off, he could Earthquake. I'm assuming this is a Stealth Rocker. So going to be Stealth Rock, knock off, Earthquake. Pursuit, maybe. I really don't think he would have Stone Edge, although he obviously still could, because I have a lot of flying types on my team. I don't want to switch directly into Chomp, just because taking a knockoff would kind of suck. Do I need this for anything? Yeah, of course, like I've mentioned before, it does a number to his team. I don't have a great switch in. Like if I led Clefable, it would have been a nice thing on turn 1, because I could have just clicked Moonblast, but I think I'm going to click Willow and just hope that he's not max speed with Stone Edge. As he's not max speed with Stone Edge, and I do end up getting the burn, as he just goes for Stealth Rock. Could have taunted like I mentioned on the first turn, but alas, I made a play that I think is a decent one for me. And this should give me a free switch out to Manectric. No, why would I go to Manectric on a Crook? I mean, like, he's probably just going to click Knockoff here, but this still doesn't make Manectric a good switch. And I guess I could taunt him. I could always Brave Bird. Like I said, I don't think he has Stone Edge, so, like, I could just fire off a Brave Bird. As if going out into Alomomola, I can just taunt this for days. This is the easiest taunt of my entire life. Do I want to get a burn on this? I don't think I have Toxic on my team, so burning this would at least disable its lefties, as he ends up being Banded, Waterfall, Alomomola. I am very impressed, and I'm very happy that I'm not the only idiot to have ever run that set. I could burn this, to be completely honest. Burning this would be super helpful if he is Banded. He probably has Aromatherapy on his Roserade, which would make this whole situation a little bit poopy. I could just go right into Lottie here on the Waterfall, which I think I'm just going to do. That'll allow me to get a free defog off, because worst case scenario, I guess he goes to Dragonite and I sack that, but yeah, he's going to predict me and click knockoff. That's actually awesome. I really appreciate that, but I'm just going to quickly recover up because he crit me, which is a little bit disappointing, as now his Sylveon is here, and because he crit me, this is actually going to be a huge problem. Things have gotten really, really south just because of Banded Aloe first turn. Like, I taunted it instead of burned it because I was scared of Toxic. That's fine. You brought Banded Aloe. I've looked at it before as well. But critting the knockoff kind of sucked because I wasn't able to defog that turn. If I defogged that turn, I'd go right to Talon on this. I really don't want to sack this, but like I've mentioned, I kind of have to, do I not? I want Rocks gone because Talon's is going to do so much work against him. Especially now that I know his Aloe is not just... He's physically offensive without a choice band, which means if I can get a burn on it, it's literally going to be useless. He doesn't have Char Y, which means Lottie is going to be less useful even still. The only thing it could even potentially be useful for is the Roserade, which... yeah, I can just defog on this and see. He might go for HP Fire or something weird, as he does just go right for Hyper Voice. It is fine by me, and this gives me a free switch to Talonflame and a quick... Roostinator's back up to full health, and then if he wants to go to Crook, I can taunt it, and if he wants to go to something else, I can react accordingly. Talonflame, you've cost me my Latios, and it's unfortunate. But Lottie, I mean, Lottie did its job. It just died on turn 5, so, or turn 6 rather. Bit disappointing of a way to start the game, but as I mentioned before, Lottie was literally there pretty much just for Char Y, which he didn't bring. It was also to keep shit off the field, which of course is important. But now the thing is here, I can live any move except the Head Smash from this. I don't know if he's gonna have Head Smash. I can always burn this in case he wants to be physically offensive, which would be really helpful. But I just saved my Talonflame, so there's not really a reason for me to risk that. I have Clefable, but I don't want to switch it in on a Shadow Ball, because then I'd be switching it into a shit ton of damage. Aegislash is just literally the biggest problem in the entire world. Chomp, again, Chomp can still sweep late game as long as I can get it in, but it's a matter of getting it in against the right thing, because his Sylveon has proven itself to be offensive, which means an SD Earthquake just kills it. His Crocodile, was his Crocodile even Intimidate? Yeah, it was, so I'd want to sub up for that, but it would die to an Earthquake. Dragon Claw wouldn't kill D-Knight. Maybe it would after, through Scale. He didn't even bring Starmie, which is interesting. Oh, I guess if he didn't bring Charwai, he didn't need Starmie. Sub SD Chomp just cleans up, and I knew that from team preview. I knew that from week matchup preview. It's just a matter, like, it's still not out of reach because Chomp can still come in and clean. It's the matter of what the fuck do I switch into an Aegislash? Like I said, I literally just saved this, and I still need it. I need it for so many of his Pokemon. I mean, it would burn the Aloe. His Dragonite might be Lum. It's not switching into Dragonite either way. Like, if I lose this, the only switch into his Sylveon is my Scizor, which I would like to keep. But burning this would also be helpful because it'll get residual on it. I might just burn it. Yeah, I'm going to burn it just to scout its set. If he wants to be physical or special, we will see. As he crits me again. Gary, please, have some courtesy, please. Crit Shadow Ball did 70, which means it would have only done 50, which means I would have been... I think I've calced that before. It does about 40%. As, at this point, if he doesn't get a drop, I can just kind of roost until I'm going to be at about 55%, which basically is I can switch into rocks. Without that crit, I would be at 55%, but it's nice to have his Aegislash burned. As I mentioned, the burns, obviously, he has revealed himself to be special, which I assume is going to be Shadow Ball. I would have to assume King Shield's on there, Flash Cannon for my Clefable, etc. But even though he is special, the residual damage is going to be very nice on his thing. As he ends up going out into Sylveon. See, the fact that he brought it right in kind of makes me wonder why. Because, I mean, I'm a special defensive Talonflame. He has to have HP Rock, I would assume. Scizor is a decently safe switch in that case. Because at the very least, I can go to Scizor, take the move, and then U-turn out. So I'm going to go right to Scizor and see what the hell he brought that in for. As he ends up having Heal Bell. That's really annoying, actually. I assume he's not going to stay in because he's choiced, but at the very least I'm just going to click U-turn here. As he ends up staying in, it's fair enough, and we can just go back out into Talonflame. Don't really want to catch... Okay, it was HP Fire. That's perfect, which means I can just taunt here. I don't really care what he goes to, because it'll be taunted when it comes in, and if he tries to go for Toxic, he's not going to be able to. As he ends up doing that, it's fine by me. And at this point, I can just fire off a free burn. As he ends up going under the Crocodile, and if I could hit this burn, that'd be fantastic. Nice, sick. Still burned, are ya, Crocodile? And at this point, I know he's going to knock off my lefties, and Clefable's a super safe switch in. I know my lefties are going to be knocked off, and they're going to be super helpful, but it's not going to do any damage, and I can just freely click Calm Mind. And we're about to go in, unless he goes right to Roserade, which would be upsetting. He probably will go right to Roserade, as he ends up going straight for the taunt, yeah. Do I click Flamethrower predicting Rose? I don't know if I want to reveal it on the Roserade. Like, a +1 Flamethrower on the Switch would have been fucking sick, but he's obviously not staying in. He's either going to go to Aegislash or Roserade, which means I could go right to Talon if I wanted to here. He might knock again, though. I'm not sure. Talon would be a really good play if he goes to either of those Pokemon. I think I'm going to go to Talonflame. Or I could go to Manectric and get my Mega up and Volt Switch into Talonflame, but that just causes me to get damage off unnecessarily. Manectric, once it's Mega, is going to be really nice to switch into the Aloe, because all it can do is Intimidated Waterfall. I'll click Flamethrower on this turn, as he ends up just getting his rocks up. Really annoying, as I did lose. Man, that was... Right, yeah, he taunted. Why did I... Did I not taunt this? I burned it but didn't taunt it. I'm really, really dumb. Of course he'd click knockoff on Talon, but now Talon's dead. Ah, that was really stupid. As at this point, I just kind of have to click Flamethrower. He's gonna Earthquake, it does nothing, but I don't get any. Okay, I played that poorly. I think I lose now to something. I probably lose now to something. Like his D-Knight's gonna go in late game because my Clefable's dead. Just shit like that, where I played that so poorly. He was burned. Of course he could have, like, you feel like I could have easily just, I'm so dumb. I could have, because he's gonna be able to, I'm faster than him here. I don't know what an Aegislash is. He's not Life Orb, so he might be Specs. I might actually calc this real quick and figure out. I'll explain why I'm an idiot while I'm calcing though. Let's go mixed attacker, probably my best bet. So let's say Aegislash, not Blade. Oh yeah, Blade. Nice, sick. Why does that have no attack? Oh, level 100. Okay. Versus a Talonflame. I just want to see what set he could possibly be to do that much damage to me. So Shadow Ball on a critical hit from max special attack Aegislash can theoretically do 70%, and it was doing approximately that much damage to me. So yeah, he's probably not Specs, which means I don't have to worry about that. And what Pokemon do I have now? Clefable. Let's just real quick check out if Clefable, which is I actually apparently have to type in more of the name. Calm Mind plus Unaware. I'm not actually calm. I'm bold to be able to take hits from his Dragonite. I think I'm 2626. I'm not actually sure what I am. Nope, 216. Yeah, it's not looking good for me, is it? Flash Cannon actually just OHKOs me, as you can see there in the top left. Which means, oh, after a Calm Mind. That's literally what I've been trying to calc here this whole time. Can I Calm Mind first? 59 to 70. Which means I have a decent chance after a Calm Mind of living the hit. Although one Flamethrower with a chance to burn. If I live, I can just get off another Flamethrower. As he ends up being faster. Okay, so I speed creeped my Clefable to be faster than his Aegislash. So he evidently put in a shit ton of speed creep on his Aegislash, which means he's running very little HP. Which means I can freely go to Manectric and fire off a Thunderbolt. As even if he wants to go to Roserade, Thunderbolt plus Flamethrower damage is going to do a fuck ton. As he ends up just blading back up. That's fine by me. And Manectric, you are modest. I'm pretty compelled that a Flamethrower is going to do a fuck ton of this Aegislash. He might switch to Aloe on the Flamethrower, which is fine because as he ends up being Occaberry, that's fine as well. I can still live a hit, I would assume. Yes, I do. Alright, Manectric's still chilling. If he's Shadow Sneak, I'm going to be slightly on the tight side, and I think I just lose if he's Shadow Sneak. But we can just fire off another Flamethrower. Occaberry is something I, to be honest, didn't see coming, but it makes sense because I had a Talonflame and a Manectric as well. Yeah, that's really stupid. Going back to the Krookodile play, the only reason he has Stealth Rock up right now is because I'm a fucking idiot. And I lost my Clefable for that fucking idiot play as well. If I was in with Talonflame, I burned his Krookodile on the switch. Obviously, I fucking click Taunt there because worst case scenario is he knocks me off for like 30% tops, and I can just click Brave Bird and kill it after burn. And he'd be forced out, rocks wouldn't be up, and I would still have not only my Talonflame without rocks, but also Clefable. But unfortunately, that is not what happened, as I'm just going to T-Bolt here and get a shit ton of damage off on this Sylveon. It should do, yeah, that's a decent amount, as he ends up going for a Wish. At this point, I guess I can Volt Switch out into Scizor. He might predict that and go for HP Fire. In fact, he doesn't really have a reason not to go for HP Fire this turn. I could go to Talonflame, because his moves are what? Heal Bell, Wish, HP Fire, and Hyper Voice, and Hyper Voice sure is fucking touching Talon, so seems to be a decent play. As Talonflame, at this point, even with rocks up, I think is still in the driver's seat here, as I can just freely Roost, as he ends up going out to Aloe Momola. I can Will-O-Wisp this. I really hope he doesn't have, like, Toxic on his physically offensive Aloe. If he does, it would be a bit disappointing, but if I can burn this, I mean, his Heal Bell user is still alive, but it's not going to be doing too much damage to me with Waterfall. And because I still have lefties here, I'm pretty free to just click Brave Bird this turn. What's his Sylveon at? Did it receive that Wish? Yeah, it did. I can still shut down Sylveon, I can burn the Dragonite, and on top of that I still beat his Roserade one-on-one. So yeah, Talonflame is looking good, and what Talonflame can't kill, I believe Garchomp will be able to. So it's time for Talonflame to actually start finishing off some Pokemon instead of just being a piece of shit. I guess I could Roost. Let's stay healthy, just because it's going to be very useful. As he ends up knocking me off, that's fine. At this point, I'm just going to Brave Bird. Like I've mentioned, Waterfall's not going to be doing very much. If he goes to Dragonite, it's going to be hella nice to break his scale, and then burn him right subsequently after. But Aloe is going to be decently difficult to kill with Talonflame because I'm not SD, as I mentioned. But as you can see so far in this game, Taunt is going to be huge because Sylveon gets its nuts handed to it because it can't Wish or Heal Bell. And I can just burn stall it with Roost and Brave Bird as its most powerful move. Does 20% to me. That's incredible. Dragonite is going to be interesting to try to play around. I guess when he goes to Dragonite, that's when I sack Manectric with Intimidate and then force him to kill me off. But even at that point, I don't know what I really do to it because it's going to be fast. Dragonite's going to be a bit of a bother, to be completely honest. I might have to stay in and burn it right away, which isn't good because if he just goes for Bandit Outrage, it's going to do a quick number to me. As he's going to be forced out after this turn, which means on this turn I can just freely click Roost as he's... Like I mentioned, he's forced out because he doesn't want to die. I could actually Willow on this turn. If he wants to go to Roserade, the damage is going to be super helpful because I might actually be able to kill it with Brave Bird after burn damage. I don't have rocks, remember, so if he goes to D-Knight, it's going to be nice to potentially eliminate the Lumberry. I don't have lefties though, so I do want to keep this healthy. Do I Roost or Willow on this turn? If he stays in, I can't afford to Willow, so I guess Roost is my much safer play. As he goes right out into Roserade. Now, the real question is, Mr. Talonflame of no attack, can you kill a Roserade, which very well, sorry for bumping my table there with my foot, which very well may be, okay, let's just say max HP. Can you kill? 95 to 112. As I mentioned, that burn would have been pretty fucking clutch there. This is a 75% chance to OHKO it, and I don't think it can do much back to me because I'm at 83%. I think, like, there's no real reason to taunt it because I assume if he's going to go for... He's expecting the taunt. I don't know, I'm just going to go for Brave Bird and hope he's not Koba Berry. As he turns out to be Koba, and he turns out to be very... as he ends up being Koba Berry HP Rock. That's not bad. Not gonna lie, that's a bit upsetting, but I can just go with the Scizor at this point and click U-turn. If I click U-turn, he goes to Aloe. I think I win. That's just disappointing, because like I mentioned, Talonflame's gonna do a number to him. I didn't know whether he was gonna be Koba Berry, but I guess the fact that he... Did he bring it in? Yeah, he brought it... No, he didn't. Yeah, he brought it into me, which is upsetting, but... Whatever, I kill it off before it has a chance to do shit to me, and I guess I go to Chomp here. I know Dragonite can just come in, which is going to be really fucking annoying. Shout out to I Play Tennis LOL, because he actually told me to run Haban Berry Garchomp instead of Yachi. And looking at this point in the battle, Haban Berry would win me the game, and Yachi's not going to do shit. I think I lose this game, but I lost it because I played Talonflame stupidly. Not once, but twice. Talonflame literally 6-0'd him, and I was told that a couple times, but I just didn't listen. Didn't listen. As I guess the play there against the Roserade would have been switching into Scizor primarily first and get off a U-turn, and then because my Talonflame still would have been at enough health to switch into his Sylveon at any point later on in the game. Yeah, I played that one kind of poorly late, and I think his Dragonite just cleans me up here with Outrage, which is upsetting, but, you know, what can you do? At the very least, well, I guess it's not over yet, but his Sylveon is healed. Because his Sylveon got that Wish, it's going to be even harder. Like, I think I need to break the Dragonite scale with my Scizor, and I assume that's going to be done through use of Iron Head, just in case I get a flinch, right? And then after that is, see, this is why I want to defog on my Scizor as well, by the way. Just because, late game, if there are still rocks up, I can get rid of them with no repercussions. At this point, I can just T-Bolt and hope for the Para. That'd be pretty nice, to be completely honest. I could also go to Scizor. Oh, no, I can't, because this thing just dies, so... Basically, I'm forced to do that. I can go to Scizor now and just click Iron Head, though. I don't know if he's gonna go right to Aloe. See, this is such a fucked up turn. I don't know how much Garchomp's Earthquake would have done, but I was pretty much forced as Scizor. I think this game comes down to what I do this turn. If he goes out into Dragonite, and I U-turn on it, I win if I go to Chomp, because... Well, no, I need Rocks up for that, because Sylveon's not going to die from 60. I assume he's physically defensive. Just from... Did I use any moves on the Sylveon so far? I'd really like to actually tell. I think I went for Brave... No, you know what? The fact that Modest Mega Manectric is only doing 38% makes me once again believe that this is a special defensive Sylveon. Sylveon's good, but it sure as fuck isn't that good. Let's go OU Claire, because that's pretty much what I'm looking at here. And let's look at Mega Manectric, because the calc I'm doing right now is basically going to Mega Manectric is basically going to determine whether or not I win with Garchomp late game. So Thunderbolt is doing absolutely diddly poop, but it is in the range of a bold, a lot of defense Sylveon. So if I take away all that and just put it in special defense with a calm nature, how much is T-Bolt doing? Literally 0. So yeah, I think he is actually a bold Sylveon, like just the standard set, which is bad for me because hello? Okay, so I need to switch the set. Sick team builder, dude. Or yo, can you stop messaging me on Facebook? You could actually fuck right off. How much was T-Bolt doing? Like 38? And then how much did it do the time before? I'm sorry this video is so boring. I've pretty much already lost. Yeah, 36, which means it's right in that range of just standard Sylveon. And to a standard Sylveon, how much does Garchomp? Hi, Mr. Garchomp. Let's go offensive Stealth Rock. You are a jolly Earthquake, does 40 to 47, which, yeah, I need Stealth Rock damage or an SD, which basically is what I'm saying. Like, on this turn, if I click U-turn and he goes up to Aloe, I can go for a sub, get up an SD, and just win. If he goes out into Dragonite, I can U-turn off at Dragon Claw and go from there. But if he stays in and I Iron Head, then I win with Chomp. So it's like a I have the game in my hands. It's just what move do I click. Like, I don't know if, like, there's no reason for him to stay in because I could just Bullet Punch this and win. So, but Gary's made, like, I don't want to say dumb, but he's made really aggressive plays all game. Like, if I stay in an Iron Head this turn, he just dies. And even if he goes to Aloe, like, best case scenario for me is that he knocks off my Choice Scarf. And he's still burned. I'm clicking Iron Head. Fuck this. Yeah, he stays in. He's a Babiri Berry Sylvan. Can I get a flinch? As I do not get the flinch, but I think that might have given me the game. If I can go to Garchomp here. Oh, boy. I bumped my mic, like, massively there. Yeah, dude, you know what? Habanberry Garchomp would have won this game. That's so dumb. It actually would have won me this game. As Sylveon, how much does that get to Garchomp? Hyper Voice does 87 to 104. So you know what? No, he probably has E-Speed on Dragonite. He's most likely banded. Yeah, Habanberry Garchomp would have actually won me this game. So you know what, Tennis? As much as I hate on you. If I got a flinch there, by the way, I would have completely won. I got no hacks this game. But, what can I say? I mean, Gary played okay. If I'm faster, I can sub on the E-Speed. I'll just scout, see what he's doing. See what this Dragonite is all about. I don't know if it's weakness policy. Like, if he DDs and he's weakness policy, I guess I have a chance by going for SD then Dragon Claw, but I don't think Garchomp would kill a Dragonite through scale anyway. We'll see. We'll have to see what he said. Like, if he's specially defensive or some dumb shit with, like, T-Wave and Roost, then I still win, but Joe's also a complete fuckboy. Lost a triple berry squad, which is pretty interesting, but, like, obviously berries are pretty decent in this. I still can't believe I didn't get a flinch with Sizzler. In fact, if I was banned at Sizzler instead of Scarf Sizzler, it would have probably would have killed Sylveon, or at least no, I'd have to have killed Sylveon to make it worthwhile. We'll see what he's doing here, as he ends up just going for Dragon Claw. So I assume he's banded, and if I had Outrage, I also would have been able to at least do a bit more convincing damage to him. But either way, that was a decent game. Didn't obviously go my way, as I never had a chance to get Garchomp set up. And as you can see, at +2, Garchomp actually would have had a really good chance to Oko right through multi-skill. It would have been ridiculous. But 2-0 isn't too bad of a loss. Like, if I lost like 4-0 or something, I would have been pissed off. But 2-0 is very okay, I suppose. Lost because I lost Talonflame. Lost because Stealth Rock went up. Stealth Rock, like, me misplaying on the Crocodile was really stupid. And on the Rosary, like, I had to have known he was Koba Berry, right? I could have roosted on it and scouted. At the very least, I could have roosted and scouted. Because why else would you bring one in that has, like, a 75% chance just to die? So the Koba Berry at the end is just kind of icing on the cake. Like, it's a pretty dumb set. I think there's a million better items to run on Sylveon, especially when I could have killed it with a plethora of means and not just through Iron Head. But, yeah, no, it was an interesting battle. And, whatever. It was a 2-0. It was a nice game. 3-1. And I actually kept the battle to under 30 minutes. So, bye.